I am here with the incomparable Denise Hill. She is a motivational speaker, radio announcer, consultant, actress, author, and instructor. I hope I got them all in.
It's a little more than that.
It's a little bit more than that. Come on, you'll fill me in. You'll fill me in. But thank you so much
for
agreeing to being on the show. I want to go back to the earlier years. We talked about off camera what it is you did first, but I'll let you just chime in on that because there's some things I didn't know about you. But let's talk about what did you aspire to do?
Initially, I actually wanted to be in sports medicine because I played basketball, and I just like the idea of sports medicine and training. And oddly enough, I'm a professional trainer now, physical trainer, and I'm not taking clients though.
Okay,
Calm down.
Got you.
No, until I get my CrossFit certification. That's when I really want to begin to use that particular knowledge to help people. But from that, I wanted to be in sports medicine, but at the same time, I wanted to do broadcasting. I loved Cheryl Miller, who was a basketball player, and she did both. She played basketball, and then she went into broadcasting. I loved Renee Poussaint, so I had just this admiration for women in media. And then I had a family friend, Tanja Palmer, who worked in radio in this area. So I was always exposed to that. And I was part of a recording choir, the Youth for Christ Fellowship Mass Choir.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So you sang too?
Yep, that's on the list.
Let me write that down.
So, you're exposed to a lot, to the entertainment industry in general. And so I did television first. I went to Suitland High School, and I was in that first class of the University High School program.
Okay.
And that was when they started the whole magnet school, busing people in. I just lived up the street, though, so I was good. But the visual and performing arts program didn't have a media component to it. So I went University High School route so I could intern at a television station. And it was community television, CTV, which is Prince George's County's cable television. Right. And I did, some video shows. I thought I was, Donnie Simpson and Video Soul, and you did Pump Up the Jam was the name of my show.
Right.
And so I started in television and then transitioned to radio.
Wow. So did you go to college for radio communication?
I did. I went to Prince George's Community College first.
Okay.
And that, again, kept my scope broad because they didn't specialize in radio. They did theater and television. And then I transferred to Bowie State University, where I actually ran the campus radio station.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I ran it from the ground up, built everything. And I was fortunate because around that time, I got my first professional internship, which was at WYCB, the nation's first 24-hour gospel station.
Right.
And I was able to take that information back to Bowie State, where I was able to really begin to build up the radio station.
Right, I went to Bowie too, so you said I remember the BSU station.
BSU,
is it still running strong? I don't know.
Oh, it's huge now. They're doing a lot of work there. They've got that University of Maryland money coming in, so they built up the whole campus. And the MLK, which
used to be everything.
That's the last building they're really going to put everything into. So they'll get a whole new studio, a whole new televisions, everything. They'll get new everything. Right.
You're celebrating 25 years of radio.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's a lot.
Ups and downs and transitions from station to station.
Yeah. City to city.
City to city.
Yeah.
I didn't know you worked in other cities.
I did. I actually ran a radio station in New York, WLIB.
Oh, yeah. Is Liz Black?
Yeah. When it first flipped from Air America, which is a news station, they wanted somebody to come in and build it from the ground up. And they didn't want the establishment of New York gospel to kind of have their hand in it, because then they're going to make it what they want, and you got the politics and everything. And it was just this young, hungry girl with some crazy ideas in D.C. that was willing to grind. Right. And I literally built that from like 10 listeners to 500,000 before I left.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we at that point we had gotten everything from Marconi Awards to Billboard Awards. We were Stellar nominated when I left, but I believe they won after.
Yeah, they did.
That next year. So. That was a phenomenal opportunity for you to be able to survive in New York alone,
right.
let alone build a station, a new format from the ground up.
Right.
That was a phenomenal experience for me.
Right, and you're so much more than radio. You now, I'm not sure how long you've been doing this, but you'll tell me. You're now working with Les Brown. You're training motivational speakers.
So Les and we've kind of had this on and off relationship for 20 years almost.
Wow.
Yeah, because he had a show with Radio 1, and he was on Magic 102.3. He had the Les Brown Morning Show. It was him, George Wallace, and they had another person, but they didn't have a name.
I remember the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we worked there together. Oh, actually, before that, WYCB. Him and Willie Jolly used to do some things on WYCB. Then we connected again on Magic, and then we connected again in New York. He was building the Greatness Center there. Didn't really take off, but you know, we just kept coming in and out of each other's lives, and I talk about it in my book, by the way. Boom.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about his book.
But he's began to create, because he's 80s. He's 80 now. He's older. Yeah. He's getting, and the focus now is solidifying and fortifying the legacy. His kids are in it. They call themselves the First Family Motivation, and he began the Les Brown Institute, which really was a way to train people who want to be speakers, trainers, life coaches, things of that nature, and get them certified, and a support system to continue their growth and training. And so I came in as a founding member of that. And because of my experience and my relationship and just a desire to grind and grow, I was able to begin to actually start training the members and transition from just being a member to being a voice who can lend some expertise to other voices. And so we've done multiple trainings. My niche is communication, so you know how to use the media to market, build your brand, to promote your product, how to do things like this, sit in front of somebody and not lose it when you're trying to explain something, and interview skills, and just anything concerning the media. And I've been able to write some of his content and their curriculum, like for example, goal setting. I've written their goal setting curriculum, and so they continue to grow. They're going from Les Brown Institute to Les Brown University. So he's just continuing to grow, and his goal is 1 million voices. You know,
so these two books are a part of the Les Brown curriculum.
No, this one, well, all of them are Denise curriculum.
All Denise, right? Okay, got you.
But the curriculum that I used to develop his goal setting course came from this. And it actually came from a 90-day version of this that I have, which also is accompanied by some personal life coaching with me. But this is a more compact one that people, you know, sometimes people think 90 days is too big, you know, they quit. Okay, can you just focus on something for less than a month? You know, just less than a month. And people tend, when it comes to goals, they get these massive goals. Oh, I want to have a radio show. And they haven't started the little pieces like, okay, what would you talk about? You know, what type of guest would you want? You know, do you understand the technology of radio? Do you know how to promote? You know, just the little teeny goals along the way before you get to this gigantic goal. And by people focusing on the gigantic goal, they set themselves up for failure and disappointment. And so by kind of breaking it down into bite-chunk pieces, where you can plan the work and then stick to it and work the plan, then you'll ultimately get success.
And what about this book right here?
So I have a movement called Sexy Moms Rock.
All right.
We as
Single Mothers Ministry. That's what I'm talking about.
So we as moms tend to lose our identity. We forget that we were women first, with goals, with desires, with dreams, with things we wanted to accomplish. And so Sexy Moms Rock is to remind you, listen, you can do this. You can go back to that goal you have. You can take care of your family. You can support your spouse or your significant other. You can have the goals and dreams that you want and live your purpose. And, you know, you don't have to just be mommy, mom, mama, mom.
You be an individual.
You can be who God called you to be and still be mom. And so that's a collection of stories from moms. There's some interviews I did with some celebrity moms in there. And it's not just them talking about being mom, but it's the lesson that they got from motherhood as well.
So where can all this be found?
DeniseHill.com.
Okay, that's great. That's great. There's so much to you. And we haven't even gotten into the whole dealing with artists and all that, the gospel artist thing. You know, I had you come to the IJ one year, and I'm still really grateful for that. But you know, the landscape has changed. It has changed, and I would love for you to offer advice to an independent artist right now, somebody who is committed to the struggle of becoming whoever God has intended for them to become. What is your advice?
Oh, wow. My advice is to keep everything in perspective. Because a lot of artists, for example, they'll get upset and they'll get bitter if they're not on the radio, and they hit a brick wall in trying to hit the charts or things like that. And then they blame the medium, you know. and they don't understand that it's a system that this medium is a part of. And if you take the time to understand the system, and then you have a quality product that you can give to an audience and multiply that audience, then you'll find success. But their definition of success is so
narrow.
So tunnel vision, and then it's like, well, I need to be on the radio, and I need to, and their plan is based off of what they think they see other people do. And they don't realize that, listen, this is a tool. Even this platform that we're on right now, it's just a tool. And if you understand how to use it, and if you understand that not every tool is for every harvest and not for every season, then you won't get so freaked out. Maybe right now, this is the tool you need for this. And next season, you'll be growing something else. And so you'll need that tool for that. But, you know, they want to really become in their emotions and in their feelings. And then that takes their sight off the goal and the purpose and the plan for a particular audience, and they just fall apart. But if you understand that you need to learn the system, find somebody who'll mentor you, and then be willing to listen and learn, and not act like you know everything, because if
it
you
takes
did,
a while
you
for
wouldn't
that.
either.
Believe
It
me.
takes
a while to get through that. To get to that point.
Yes, it does. But if you're willing, because it's not like we're trying to hold some ancient Chinese secret. As far as how to get on the radio, you know, we'll tell you if you really want to learn. But we get to the point where we're like, you know, I'm not going to keep talking to you, and you just want to do what you want to do, and then be mad when it doesn't produce the results that you want to produce.
And even if it doesn't produce the results you want to produce, the results you want to produce, it's about staying in the race. You know, if you stay in it, you'll eventually learn. You'll reach some measure of success or whatever your goal was at that, you know, provided that you stay in it and you have the talent enough to make it happen. So I've watched some of your Facebook lives throughout, maybe said last year or two, and you've been really hitting hard the mental health piece. What are you currently doing with that?
I'm working on a program. On DeniseHill.com, you'll notice I have some online courses, which include some of the goal-setting courses, if you want to become a coach, just various courses. And so I'm working on a course that I'm going to offer for free because it's just that important. How to really survive, thrive. I don't want to say deal with it because, you know, but it's a part of some people's lives so much so that it's like a child. It's like their spouse. They're just there. It's there, ever present. And to be transparent, I'm challenged by that now. If you saw in the news, there was a young man who got killed in D.C. He crashed into a police car with his motorbike. I don't know if you heard that on the news recently. That was one of my students. And it's like, how many students do I have to, you know what I mean? And so that the challenge, that feeling tries to overwhelm you on a regular basis. And so what I want to provide are strategies for people to use. It's not by any means the only thing you can do to overcome depression, to maintain focus, to control anxiety or any of the other mental health challenges, but they're just strategies that have worked for me. And I think if we spend time sharing some of the wisdom we get when we travel up these various roads, if we look back and pass that on, then we'll all be better.
Sounds like something outside your tool belt.
Hey, it's on the list, no doubt.
Talk about family.
Family, my beautiful daughter. Yes, she's coming home from her first year at college next week, the new school.
Okay.
And everybody looks at that like the new. Is it new?
Right. It's called the new school.
The new school. A lot of people know Parsons School of Design. Okay. Parsons is the fashion school within the new school. So she's in the acting school within the new school.
Wow.
And she was raised in New York pretty much because I was working there. So it's nothing to her to hop on the stage and do her thing or write better books than me. And so
What's her name?
Nia means purpose.
That's all right.
That's my purpose.
Last future aspirations. Is there anything you haven't done yet that you think you need to get accomplished?
I don't know. You know, I have a wonderful track record of being the first doing a lot of things. I was the first female voice on XM satellite radio when we launched. We launched a couple of days after 9/11. And I was that first voice on there, the only female at that time on the gospel channel. I was the first program director of the gospel station in New York, market number 1, the first this, the first that. Wow. So I'm hoping whatever that next thing is, I'll be that first in the door. And I'll be able to be some type of an inspiration for women because, you know, a lot of these conversations and things that we have, I'm the only one in the room, the only sister, and we need more voices.
Unfortunate.
It is. We need more voices. Even when I was doing this book about some stories of my radio career, it's like there's something in there about Vicki Winans, but the overwhelming majority of my experiences have been with men, from the artists to the executives to whomever. It's very male dominant, and so we need more female voices. So I'm hoping that between Sexy Moms Rock and some of the other things I do, I'll be the first at it, and I'll be able to open the door for other women.
Well, obviously, God trusts you to make it first. So, thank you so much
Thank you for having me again.
For taking out your time. You are definitely an icon in the city, and I know it. I shouldn't say think. I really do know it.
Drop that on me before we leave.
You don't look a day over 30.
I'll take it.
But you've been around for a while, like I have.
So you said you've been in the game for 25 years. Like,
yes, I started when I was 1.
Right. Yes. Exactly. I love that. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having
we get ready.
For more information on how to become a guest on Real Talk with Phillip Carter, or for general inquiries, please email us at realtalkwithphillipcarter@yahoo.com. Tune in next Monday for another edition of Real Talk with Phillip Carter.